InShalla and Ashe. Blessings to you, my energetic beings. It's January 6th, 2022. And the cosmic skies today are asking us to listen to the frequency. We might feel a little bit otherworldly, maybe a little spacey today. However, the realm of our subconscious is really connecting us to our higher self, our spiritual self, our Sira. So if you can allow the streams of consciousness to thread deeper into that flow, releasing the toxic debris in that channel, in that stream, and really open your book in the library in the sky and just see how far that you've come on this earth journey as a reflection of that growth, that spiritual acumen. What other worldly values do you really have? And also bringing them into that stream. But welcome back to the Daily Snippet. I am your host, a practicing holistic Sha'medium and a subtle energetic surgeon, merging the indigenous technologies with subtle energies, elements, and elemental beings, and so much more. My intention really is to merge the indigenous realms with the subtle to assist us into navigating our prime directive, just reintroducing ourselves to the you that is residing within us, My name is Tonya D, and welcome to my virtual medicine room. And if you are tuning in today, Stephanie Butler, I'm going to pull a card for you. And if you are interested in a card for your day, simply like, comment, or share the show. Helping me really helps you as well. So with that, let me see if I can manage this a little better today. Ding. Look at me go. So with the cards of the day, I played with the seers. Well, why? Well, our crown center is open today. And if I could do a cowrie shell divination live and roll those shells, I totally would do that. But the setup is a thing. And also, I want to give a shout out to Sarah for scheduling a divination. Cheers to you and blessings as well. But first off, the first card we have is the Seven of Swords. And traditionally, this card really warns us that we must be on the lookout for deception, betrayal, even thievery, and just, sometimes we find ourselves being the victim of somebody else's deceit, but it's also a nudge to really act in alignment with our own highest integrity or morality. So just be sure that you're being honest with yourself about the nature of your own personal reality and those current threads. Sometimes we pretend that everything is okay or that we're doing the best we can, even though we're not. So this actually shows up as kind of being a reckless or even avoidance of our responsibilities as well. So, only take what's needed and remember that no excuses really outweigh our own ability to act from a place of love or integrity and peace, joy, all my virtues. But we really can't deceive our own heart, and the universe will always bear witness to our truest intentions. Hey, and don't mind my little boyfriend here. He's backstage. There he is. Poor guy. He didn't feel great today. But he wants to get up here. So with that, our truest intentions for us alone, sometimes we're vulnerable under the light of the moon. And the only thing that really matters is our own integrity, our own personal truth. So really kind of move forward with the lightness of our consciousness to guide us. There's my boyfriend. Poor guy. Yeah, his tongue hangs out. Anyway, with that, I would say something like act from a place of love, your integrity, and the universe. Let the universe witness our honest intentions, and be grateful for all of the resources we have in the threads. Let's see. I want to come over here. There you go. I know it's terrible. It's nothing worse than when our fur babies feel bad. Next up, we have the King of Pentacles, and it's just this otherworldly dude that exudes warmth. He's jolly. He's like a jolly old soul. And again, he's welcoming us. He's bringing us into his fortress, his palace, his home. It's this otherworldly being that knows how to really have a heartfelt conversation about life. Probably, I would say, like a wise sage in a way, just reminiscing about all the places he's been, all the wealth he's created, abundance and whatnot. Kind of reminds me of, you've seen Secondhand Lions, if you ever watched that movie. It's actually super great, seriously. But as he's sitting there, just knowing what he's manifested, he's done his dream life, but he's also sending out the message to us that abundance and prosperity are on approach, like when a plane is actually about to land. um, we're on approach, but the message is to actually enjoy the journey, the challenges, the lessons, all the juice along the way, and even what we might perceive as a failure even along the way. There really is no such thing. It's just, for me, it's a rippling in our thread lines. It's a message, right? So this is a reminder to really get clear on our vision of uh, where we want to be, to plan and really envision. So we have this manifesting power in a longing, maybe, and just enjoy the expansion as we bring it into existence, our greatest potential. So really, it's just the simple joy of happiness that brings or comes in when we realize that we did better than we actually did the last time, in pursuit of our own personal growth, that journey, just allowing ourselves, the extravagant blessings of our heartfelt desires, whatever that is for each and every one of us. The rest is kind of like a side effect or a side plate of our faith, just having steady habits and the courage really to cultivate our otherworldly dreams and staying on the path, the journey that we've been taken on. So it's kind of a message to dream our biggest dream into the light. So really dream those endless potentials into existence with a steady wind of desire and effort, because we know our goal is actually going to be reached. Just be more confident, be warm in your leadership abilities, and just provide others comfort and security along with our own personal growth and overflow, of a material abundance where we share it with the village, whatever that looks like for each and every one of us individually. And then we have, there we go. To finish it off, we have the Eight of Swords, which is giving us a gentle little nudge or a reminder that we truly do create our own reality, looking beyond the veil of illusion that our current limitations might be projecting. Maybe we're feeling trapped with no path forward. Maybe we were feeling some fear, since we just had the King of Pentacles, the fear of that abundance coming. Sometimes we're our own critic, and we hold those reins back when there's magic on the other side, and the door is opening. So just remember, it's all perspective, and that veil can all be lifted. So when we choose from our own sovereignty, our own essence over victimhood, we really become a fierce force of our own choice. And we can really free ourselves from the shackles and shift our outcome dramatically in ways probably that we can't see at the moment, just by accepting that we are the one person that really is responsible for our own personal happiness, our own personal joy and love and peace, etc. Just creating infinite portals of possibility by becoming the solution. We're never really stuck. So it's like nurturing our soul in that garden and spending time, the time that we need to really transmit those feelings of helplessness. And we know we can't control every experience that's put on our path, on our journey, but we can definitely work on how we respond to each and every one of them, just really letting go of the old stories in a vigilant way where we can release anything that's lower frequency vibration, whether it's thoughts or different things that we actually might be holding on to. Do you want to get down, buddy? There you go. Poor guy. So yeah, just reframing our our thoughts and experiences and our lessons, and showing up the path to heal, whatever that is. So it's not a time to utilize our stories or the past experiences as excuses to remain shackled. So really choose to be free and know that we are free. We're free to choose our healing, and we're also free to choose our light on the same corridor. Now for you, Stephanie, let's see. Bing, bing, bing. So I pulled the Knight of Pentacles for you, and it's upside right. So this is a worker, somebody who's enjoying every minute of the process. It's practical, more practical than the other Knights, just improving things for yourself, or for those that you love in a consistent momentum, like you're in the flow. Really devoted to solid foundation. It is a foundation. It's earthy. So the message is just like an assurance. It's insurance in a way that you're going to multiply your harvest for tomorrow by taking the extra care and the energy of today. So it really is a time to show up and be fierce in your loyalty and your pride, and also trustworthiness, integrity. Tend to your home, your foundation, and covering your own unwavering ambitions for the galactic future. Sometimes it's an energy, it's so stable that it kind of feels repetitive, like it's a repeat, like a broken record. So if you're feeling any resistance, or if you've kind of prefer maybe to stay in bed, it's kind of a message to find the joy, really see how far you've come on the journey. It really is a thing, and uncover those heart stirring enthusiasms by just allowing yourself to believe in something brighter, like to believe first and you'll see it later. So this really is a message of infinite otherworldly expansion with a time and faith where we can plant those seeds and they can take root. So follow through on your plans, on your promises, and move any stagnant energy that's really blocking you from your dreams. So it's like, it's a seed by seed, where you can plant your future, having a rock steady foundation, one in faith. So really just be diligent by, be determined really. You're building your own material security, and you're going to be expanding it in a secure, kind of safe kind of way as well. So that's super juicy. I like that card, especially with the other cards. It's kind of topsy-turvy going from swords to pentacles, but I think it's a message there that you're on your path. And then this was actually, when I took the screenshot, it was kind of depressing, but the energy of the double ox and the stems with us, until the Chinese New Year. If you didn't tune into yesterday's show, please do. That might be an idea, but today we have a Yin Earth Goat of a day, a Yaya Way or Jai Way. It's like, hey, Zeus, all that earth. Whew. So the goat to the ox is in conflict. They're opposing forces. So it's like the southwest corner is the goat and the northeast corner is the ox. So the animals generally stay in those directions. They're associated with numbers as well on the Bagua. But we have water hidden. I'm not going to go into depth in that, but it really does carry energies and frequencies, and that's how these disruptions come up. So it's just nice to be aware consciously. But we have water hidden in the branches of the ox, but we also have more metal that the stems can ground into from the heavenly realm, that yin metal. We have yin metal, the same element in storage of the ox at the very base there. And we only have one yang energy in the goat. That is the yang earth, but there's all earth there. So there's so much earth, right? And we also have a snippet of fire hidden in the goat. That's yin, and a snippet of wood as well, but it's in storage in the goat. So it really is a day to go inward for our journey and just reflecting, like that Eight of Swords, that mirror. What is the energy that you can bring out today? Earth is a provider of stability. It's a transformer energy. And it's the end. It's the in-between season element. People born in a season of Earth, that would be like the month of Earth. It's a transition. It's an energy that goes from one season to another. So they're always kind of in transition all the time, because they're never. But however, today this energy is very grounded. We're kind of seeing this now with the season of water, the water tiger coming into the year. But the energy of Earth itself, even though we've got so much of it, is fairness. So that's the quality. Sometimes Earth people tend to be, they tend to be chronic worriers, and they worry really too much about everything, not only their own life direction, but everything in the galactic universe. They're generally steady and they don't move really as fast as others. However, what they lack in speed, they really make up in being consistent, and they carry the longevity, and they don't really waste their time or energy on grandiose schemes or ideas. Instead, like the ox, they kind of plow through the realities of the situation. So the energy of an earth person, even on an earth day, that's like managers and organizers. They can be trusted. They implement plans. They focus on being practical. They have a lot of perseverance. Sometimes it results in kind of single-mindedness in a way, which in a way then hinders the being versatile, having a variety, the ability to handle a bunch of different factors simultaneously, or multiple factors. So Earth people in general aren't overly emotional, but they are sensitive, and they resolve emotional problems in practical, concrete ways. And they also expect the rest of the world or the world of life to do what they do as well. And if they don't, earth types can kind of become stubborn, more rigid. They respond well to change, but the change needs to be slow and it needs to be gradual. Anything that's abrupt in the change is a disruption to their field. Where metal is this, it's a precious substance. It's like gold. It can also be destructive, kind of like a sword, but that's all perspective as well. But it communicates information. It's the internet, it's computers, it's cell phones, etc., cars even. But they can relay information in a smooth way. So metal people, metal frequency and vibration can gather others for really positive goals or even negative objectives. They can be focused, emotionally, intuitive, confident, or aggressive in pursuing their goals. They tend to be loners, they're isolated, they're often withdrawn. They can even be stubborn, driven by more of an inner faith, whether they're right or wrong. They can also be extremely driven to really pursue those goals. You might have known people like this. And when challenges or problems arise, they're going to go inward. This is a yin energy to really find those answers. It's refined, so it's like taking gold, alchemizing it, and turning it into a sword or a ring or whatever refinement. So they really can't be expected to communicate their inner feelings. That's something they dissipate. They can be successful in any profession, but they can also be motivated or motivate others to achieve their goals as well. But they're also they're susceptible to sadness, which can actually dominate their life. So if they can become more flexible and open, they develop more loyal friendships, very loyal. It's an element, metal is an element of righteousness, justice, and truth. But it's also sadness, grief, and longing. So our day energy, earth, is really supporting the output, which is metal. However, we do need some water to get into the flow. Water is going to take energy from metal. It's like the birthing phase of metal, but it's also going to give the earth something to do, create wealth. It's a situation here. But to get into the flow, but we also need nature for transformation. And fire, maybe not so much. Fire would be probably the least element that we need because we have so much earth. So it's definitely a day for solidifying and creating a foundation or a grounding energy that's really this unmovable force. So really sit with your decisions, make intuitive ones. And if you can go inward utilizing that yin energy, both the psychic and the intuitive insight's going to be more clear. So, and that's just a choice to be more aware of it. So with all that earth and energy, it really is a blessing to have the energy really come in during this time. We've had a lot of earthy matters at hand. We've got the season of Capricorn, the King of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles. So the earth energy in the elemental realm, just getting out of the muck or the mud to really see a higher view, an otherworldly perspective, will create a lift in our current threads of life, the issues at hand. So if you were able to connect to the streams of your spiritual threads early this morning before starting your day, a habit of meditation, incense, candles, whatever spiritual acumen that you do, walking in nature, connecting with the beings that reside there, literally voices of the other world, chanting. If you have an inquisition, be sure to really speak it out loud to them or journal and write it down. Otherworldly insight will come in. I would possibly go to your altar if you have one. Really simple to create. So we have this assistance of the other world today, and we have the door open to literally feel and sense the right path to take or a direction that we want our life to flow into. But we also have the ability to get an otherworldly perspective, like an intuitive spiritual hit, whether it's from an ancestor, an angelic advisor, being that it really is an otherworldly energy for me, it would be literally the village. However, if you happen to have an otherworldly image that comes in today through your third eye or your crown, just tune into your gut instincts, your intuition, be sure to meditate on that frequency and get into your observation station and just sense if you have any alert signals or warnings, if you have images popping into your head. Maybe you can't sense or even explain them, even if it's an image or a thought that comes into your mind that you didn't request. That could also be something to consider as your otherworldly self, your higher self, your Sira, that evidence. So it's really not a day to believe or to not believe. So if the image or the thought is true, just kind of notice what you feel and what you sense to be true and put the information on that side plate, put it on the side. So these intuitive hits are really just they're energetic maps, they're mappings, they're little puzzle pieces of evidence that are really slowing to add up and kind of come into their space and their place in time. They might prove to be actually absolutely nothing, but just have zero judgment, be in the zone of neutrality, and just kind of accept what flows in. Stay curious, absolutely, and put it to the side for the galactic future to kind of measure in. So the stories or the intuition, kind of the direction, the pathway for it. So we really want to direct our intuition into the matters, the things that really matter, the heart's grid line, and kind of see what floats up on the path. It really is about spiritual reflection, but it's also about our boundaries. So it's about forgiveness. It's actually about surrendering as well, and integrity, forgiving ourselves, even the past, and kind of see where our energetic walls are or where our defenses are, and looking through like the eyes of God, the Great Spirit and Ancestor, like their perspective, their higher view, just being more compassionate and really adding that mountaintop point of view. So it's kind of like a turning point in our spiritual karma, flipping the switch. So karma with love, and also our personal peace, our joy, our love, our happiness, along with our integrity. So really today is like this inner reflective day to meditate and intuit on our future prime directive, our future path, allowing our heart to surrender and our ego to feel the truth in all actuality. So the truth really does set us free. So for sure, check in with your intuition. Look for signs that affirm or signals that are alerting your heart's intentions. You know, sometimes we have the right process or the project, but spirit is really going to tell us that it's time to like sit back in our purpose, and it's time to just wait a little bit longer, to be patient. So this is really where our intuition a lot of the time can save us from a lot of headaches and wasted time and challenges. Sometimes we create that because we're not listening to our spidey senses. So truly be in a space of meditation, be in your neutrality zone, stay centered, be guided by your higher self, your Sira. Tune into that frequency, opening your heart, your high heart, to those messages as well, just listening into that frequency. Obviously, this is a very passionate day for me. I always get excited when we're at this degree in the process. It's a whole situation. But the essential oil of the day, I picked bergamot. And honestly, I was looking at these images and I was like, oh my gosh, I think I want to eat one of those. Just eat one. Not necessarily for the essential oil, but it just looks super juicy. But this is just, I don't know if you've ever, I mean, I love bergamot oil. It's one of my favorites. Actually, all the ones I've talked about so far have been my favorites. But this is just excellent at reviving. It's an antidepressant. It's a heart-centric oil, which encourages love and joy. And it's kind of the solar rule for it, the otherworldly rule. It's this cherry citrus fruit. It's smooth. It has amazing energy levels. It kind of boosts our immune system through the smell and not just our olfactory system. You don't want to use it before going out in the sun, however, but it has this soothing, kind of regulating quality to balance the activity of our hypothalamus, which is super curious as well. It just helps to regulate the chemical responses between our mind and our body, those sparks. So we could add a few drops to a diffuser, a bath, it'll cheer up, it's like got this otherworldly cheery effect. But, I always like to remember to use things with a carrier oil, kind of common sense. I use jojoba oil mostly, fractionated coconut oil a lot of the time. And jojoba I'm thinking of another one. I can't. What is it? I can't remember. But if you're going to apply it to your skin, just make sure you have it in a carrier. Again, I actually utilize an energetic skincare line based on the principles of Chinese medicine. That's really how I kind of got into the 4 pillars. That was for like healing people through the skin. So I had a map to show them because people are visual. They need something to make sense, in the mind. But it's based on the principles of Chinese medicine, the energetic centers, to really balance the body entirely through the skin, and the skin covers the whole body. So even with the season that we're born into, it's holistic, it's energetic, it's paraben free. If you're curious about that, check out, it's on my website, tonyad.tv, if you're curious. But with the energy of today, the season of Capricorn, really, let's be sure to bring in the element of water to ground or nature. The blowing out of a candle, it's the whoo sound. I don't know if you can hear me, but it's in the show notes. Or the swishing or the shishing of the trees. So with our crown even online, and the messages from the realm of spirit coming in, colors that are transparent or effervescent, could be violets or golds, even whites or pinks. But they're usually, it's kind of like the rainbow hues kind of come in, the effervescent higher frequency colors. Colors that really speak to your spirit energy and the vibration, your higher self, your Sira. What's curious as well is we also have the moon in Pisces. So that is spirit energy. That is the galactic corridor to spirit. The watery realm, the ocean, to me, it's the galaxy. So we really do have an otherworldly container that's open. So the moon, it's the juiciness of our emotional field and our feelings. So spirit's going to feel actually pretty juicy. Maybe we do have some otherworldly signals because we also have Jupiter that's just cascading into Pisces as well. So it's this expansive opening to spirit. So do things differently today. Do things a little off grid, out of the norm. And when we truly surrender to spirit, things transform in ways usually we can't see. But I would also bring in the sound of the crown, the ong, and you could channel that down and through all of your energy centers. And even really land it if you feel called into the earth star, bringing spirit like to, reverberate the earth, I guess, with all the earth energy, we have in the elemental realm. So really being in a channel of grace, the creator, the ancestral realm, the beacon of otherworldly insight, and just accept like miracles do happen and just open that door to a place that really is super juicy, something that maybe feels truly believable without seeing it, and just feel into spirit being your guide, just knowing that we're filled with the blessings of the universe. So with all of that, I would affirm that I am on my creative path, or the path to my creative expression, allowing the greater spirit, your higher self and ancestor, to be your divine guide and just flow into that. It's like in spirit into you. So InShalla and Ashe, blessings. I am going to be off grid for the weekend doing my otherworldly offerings and rituals. And I will see you on Monday, so make it super juicy. Be sure to check out Voices of the Other World. Share it to your friends if you feel called. Just echoing it out to the grid again. And again, Ashe, I will see you on the other side. Thanks for tuning in. That was super juicy. Blessings.